Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Please stay and say hi. Tap the like button. Today is Tarot Tuesday. Tea and Tarot Tuesday. And for those that may be looking in on YouTube, I'm sending out the likes on. Hi. I swear that looked like Selma. Okay. Just have one more group to share it to. Good morning. Was that Selma? Maybe. There. Hi, Junior. My hair is being quite fuzzy today. Hi, Maria. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Hi, Dee. How are you? I'm trying to leave my glasses off for a little bit, give my eyes a break. 222 on the timer. We've been live for 2 minutes and 22 seconds. There's your angel number of today, 222. Good morning. How are you? How are you? How's your week going? It's Tuesday. The cool thing about Tuesday is that means it's tarot and tea, and sometimes the tea can be hot. I feel like I have to have like a disclaimer. That's the word. A disclaimer that just reminds everybody that, if you show up here for a reading and I'm pulling cards for you, you get whatever message comes out. And sometimes that can be a message that you might find to be harsh. So it can be like the tea is hot kind of concept. 303 on the timer there. Hi, Shelby Boo. Today's fantastic. I feel in a really good energy. I have been, I think from eclipse season and everything, I think that I was feeling very heavy energetically. A lot of us are experiencing that. In fact, hello, love. Good morning. Good morning. I think a lot of us are feeling that with the energies, all the solar flares, which was going on in society. Like everything that's going on is energetically affecting everybody. It has to. We're all energy. Everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. So we're all being affected by it and also affecting others by it. So it's important to, recognize that. So all of the eclipse season and, all of the also just the eclipse season. Sorry, the eclipse season, but it was an eclipse season between Aries and Libra, which is a challenging eclipse season because that's the self and relationships. And we were dealing with a lot of karmic wounds from that time frame as well. And now we have the whole eclipse season ending with this big, huge full moon in Aries. And that can be very heavy for some. Fellow fire signs may be feeling it, and I was. And now that we're past that peak of the full moon, because remember, the full moon isn't just the day that it is, but it wanes as it goes. So now that we're out a little bit further from the actual epicenter of the full moon, I'm starting to feel more awake. But a lot of people, because of the energies, are feeling depressed. And sometimes when you're depressed, like people have talked about how depression can be the requirement for deep rest. I feel that when you are depressed, it's because you've disconnected from your spirit in the way that you're not living a life that's in alignment with you in some way. It could be drastically. It could be like your life is wickedly different than what you would live it. You're living according to what other people say. You're living in a relationship that you're not happy in. You're going to a job that you don't love. Your activities after work are merely just something to pass the time until the next day so that you can do it all over again. That's depressing. Like just talking about that is like, that's depressing. That's a depressing life, that you're really in that circle, that cyclical thing. So you're the only one that can change that, though. So you have to determine, what am I going to do to change that? Right? So can I change my job? Maybe. Can I change my mind or my attitude about my job? Definitely. You can change your attitude easily. Can I change my relationship? Well, if you're not happy in it, you probably should. If you feel unsafe or scared at any point in time, you definitely should. Can I change my belief system? And that can help, right? That can be a big thing that can help. So, yeah, I don't even know how I got there. But we got on quite the conversation. And I was just like, wow, wait a second. It's Tarot Tuesday. Where are we headed? Where are we headed, guys? How's your day going, though? Besides, like, I know that that Uncorked, that Dee said she was good. How's everybody else doing? We are going to play with tarot cards today. Depression, that's how I got there. I went through depression to get there. Sometimes I think I'm really, yeah. Today felt like a bit better energy, right? It felt like the energy just has changed today. And I mean, I think for most of us, it has, like, kind of that level of, we've gotten past the epicenter of the full moon, or, we're getting away from that space. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Agree 100%. So I'm also on TikTok, guys. So if you're, and I'll try to relay back and forth what we're talking about here, so that no one's missing out on either side of things. But yeah, so I'm going to do first the collective reading, and then we can do it one of two ways. Today is Tarot and Tea Tuesdays. So we'll talk about all kinds of things. And I do want you to know that if you get a reading from me, I might even offer you some advice. I am a trauma specialist. I'm a healer. I'm an activator, a channeler, an author, a teacher. I do a lot of things. I'm a jack of all trades. Thank you, ADHD, neurospiciness. Right. Who's neurospicy? The jack of all trades. Right. So one way to identify when somebody's like, oh, I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, you're like, oh, hi, neurospicy, which is beautiful. Alrighty, so let's see what we get for the collective message. We'll talk about it. We can continue to talk about the energy or spiritually awakening. We can talk about anything. Yes. Yeah. A bunch of things, though, right? The moon, and the moon in Aries, and the moon in and the whole fact that we went through that Libra Aries eclipse season, that was pulling up a lot of karma. It was bringing up people from our past. We're making reappearances, and so on. So it was a tense or a really heavy time. And most of us felt a little bit slowed down, a little bit stagnant with our energy, right? Yeah. I'm in my top 3, I'm fire and 2 earth signs. Depending on what system, like if you use True Sidereal for astrology, then I am, sorry. Sorry, so yeah, if you do True Sidereal, then I go from being Sagittarius to being Scorpio. My sun, so that's what my sun changes to. My moon goes from Virgo to Leo, and my rising goes from Taurus to Aries. So it totally switches things up when you do True Sidereal, but that's something to kind of, so it's just a difference. But as it stands, and what we tend to consider the astrology, the typical astrology system that we're using right now, I have a lot of Sagittarius, so I'm just a whole bunch of fire. It's been a bit of a time, the Aries full moon. Okay, so let's get to the cards. Let's see what the cards are telling us. So we can do it one of two ways today, and I give everybody the option for this. I do like giving larger readings for individuals, but we could do that. Everybody can get a card or two, right? So what I'll do is I'll give the top card or the card that comes out, and then I'll give the bottom card. Hi. So you got a Scorpio stellium. Beautiful. Nice. So are you doing something spiritually with your life? Are you a teacher in any capacity, or are you helping with transformation and stuff? That's a very powerful Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon, and Venus plus Sagittarius rising with a life path 11. That's a powerful combination. I'm fascinated with gene keys. One of my favorite things is gene keys. Punky, stick around. I'll do some healing later on in the show before we close it, or in a little bit. After I do the collective reading, I'll drop into some healing for a bit. But I'm also playing healing frequency. So even just being here, just stay and listen to the live. Aw, fair enough. You should connect. You stick around. Follow me and stick around. I go live Monday to Friday about this time every day. And after this, I go to the collective that I'm building. And it's a collective to raise the vibration. We talk about all the pillars of health, mind, body, and spirit. We talk about all kinds of things, raising our vibration, raising the vibration of the collective, spiritual awakening, manifestation, mindfulness, like all kinds of stuff. The collective is a beautiful space. There's people in the live today who are part of that collective, and they're awesome members too. So you get access to them, and it's beautiful space. Okay, let's get to our collective reading. In the event that I do the longer readings for people, just pay attention to the collective. There's messages in here for all of us. Okay. And and I'm trying to give my eyes a break from the glasses, because for the most part, I can read at this distance. I can see the clock really well. But if I have to read from the book, I have to put them on. I do. But I just want to give my eyes a break. I think I've been overusing them. So if anybody sees me start squinting, that's why. And maybe I'll put my glasses on. But anyway, I can read tarot without reading the book. So we're off to a great start. We're using the Light Seer Tarot this morning. I'll probably switch between them. I have currently 4 different tarot decks. Anybody can get a card. I'm here, Generosity of Spirit. I hope that you're here, Generosity of Spirit as well, because that's the best way to give, is from a generous spirit, not from a transactional space. So first card that came out is the Hermit, but the Hermit in the shadow. The Hermit is Virgo energy. So if you're Virgo, this may have a little bit more resonance for you. But again, we don't, we're just making a note of that. So make a note of that. It doesn't mean that you can't, this reading or this message isn't for you just because you're not Virgo. So don't let it block you from listening. Okay, so the Hermit is the card in Major Tarot that represents Virgo, which is why I mention it, but I'm doing a tarot reading. So let's focus on the message behind the reading. So the Hermit, when he's in the inverted position, or the Shadow Seer is what the Light Seer deck calls it. In the Shadow Seer position, it's the Hermit saying it's time to stop hermiting. It's time to stop isolating yourself. And in reference to something that Richard said, the Hermit can also represent being stuck in a pattern of healing, but not healing, right? So you read the books, but you don't do the practice, right? You're the one, so I'll say it this way, because my guides are like, wait, there's a better way to say this. So say it this way. When I was going through my journey of healing all of my trauma, what got me here, and what I say a lot of the times when I'm talking about it, is what got me here is consistency. it isn't that I'm any different than you. There's nothing different between me and you. I'm a spirit, you're a spirit, you're a spirit, you're a spirit. Color, gender doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of it matters. You're a spirit, I'm a spirit, and our spirit is masculine and feminine energy, and we express it at different points when we're doing different things. I'm no different than you are. What got me here was that every day I got up and I did breath work. Every day I got up and meditated. I stopped doing the things that were unhealthy. I stopped eating fast food and processed food, and I started looking at what I was consuming. What was I watching? What was I listening to? Right? If I was on my social media feed and all I was seeing was things that were fear-based or talked about scarcity or talked about this bad thing happening here and this bad thing happening there, how did I think I wasn't going to be affected and be in that bad space? And we all have the power to change. Every single one of us does. Even as a nurse of 20 years, I'll tell you, I didn't heal you. You healed you. All I did was gave you stuff to promote the healing, right? And that could be information, or that could be a clean space, right? Yeah, it's just like the more that we put our focus on the negative out there, the more the negative, like that is what everyone is after, is our attention, right? Your attention is your biggest currency. Your attention is so much your most important currency. Because where your attention is where you're giving your energy. If I'm giving my attention to the future that isn't yet here, I'm not creating, because you have to create from the present. If I'm giving it to the past, then am I asking for this to be recreated in my future? If I'm giving it to war, is that because I want to see more of it? If I give it to, and we get told things like, like when you're going by, like everybody's got to stare at the accident that's happening, right? They have, I can't remember what that word is called, right? No contact lenses. I'm just giving my eyes a break, Simon. So if you give your attention to, say, the Kardashians end up getting more, right? Because if I give my attention, we'll talk about Taylor Swift. If I give my attention to Taylor Swift, then I'm going to buy her music. I'm going to buy her clothes. I'm going to promote her to my friends. I'm going to listen to her music. I'm going to, right? So what I give my attention to grows in my life, and they benefit from the attention, right? Good morning. Have a beautiful day, Sneha. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello. Love to you. And I hope you can join us at some point today. But if not, I hope you have a beautiful day at work. At play. It's play. It's all play. Just play. Right? Just think of life like a video game. You chose this avatar this time. I did. You didn't. Or you'd be in it. You chose your avatar. You're like, this is the avatar. And and you said within this game, we want to get, this is the end goal of this game is to get to enlightenment. Right? That's what we said. The end goal of the game is to get to enlightenment. And in this time of the game, I'm picking this particular avatar, and I'm going to give myself, I'm going to set myself up this way. Okay, so these are my ancestors. That's what builds up the specs of your character, right? So that gives me intelligence, and that gives me this hair, and that gives me, like these cheeks and whatever. Gives me the ability to channel and talk to spirits or whatever the ancestor gifts are. So you connect with you build this avatar, and then you jump in and you play the game. Play the game with the goal to get to that enlightenment, which you've set yourself to a certain point each lifetime. And then the next time you're like, I'm going to choose a different avatar. This time I want to be this person. And heck, instead of starting at this spawn point in Ontario, next time my spawn point better be in the tropics. It better be somewhere warm with beaches. Like I'm manifest the next time my avatar is going to be a surfer girl. And she's just going to surf and live in a tiki hut and have an easy life and eat mangoes and avocados. And just, I'm going to have, I'm going to have a duck that follows me around or something, like it's just a different, like that's the avatar, right? But you choose it and then you get to go and do it, right? But everybody's got the same potential within them to do these things, and you're the healer. You're the one that has to do it. Nobody takes your hand and pulls you along and forces you to, right? And if they did, you'd probably resent it. So this is a time to stop isolating. It's a time to move towards the enlightenment. It's the time to, if you've been actually doing that where you've been gathering all kinds of information, but you haven't been implementing it in the practical, now's the time. Now's the time. This is calling you out and it's saying, come on, time to put it to work. Because it's blocking your creativity, and that's blocking your abundance as well, right? It blocks us. This is the divine feminine. And remember, I just said that like the empress is in all of us, masculine or feminine. The empress is in all of us. And the feminine is not a inferior thing. The feminine is not something to look down upon. The feminine is not an energy that's meant to be subordinate, like it's meant to be the sub in a relationship. Like there's so much power in the feminine energy, as much as, and it's not that there's anyone that's more or any energy that's, because I just said all of us have masculine and feminine energy, all of us. So how could you say that half of you is bad? It's just that you sit naturally and I sit naturally just slightly more into the feminine, right? But I do have a lot of like more masculine energy, and I operate very well in masculine energy because, well, if you want to look at astrology, I have a lot of fire and air in my makeup. So I have a lot of masculine energy. Right? Hello, Harold in Yellow. How are you? Right? And it's beautiful. I love you too, Richard. And I'm so happy that you're here. So this feminine energy, like when we look at the divine feminine energy that exists within every one of us, but innately within the feminine, that divine feminine energy is a portal that births worlds. Like we birth generations, we birth new creators, right? Through that portal of the womb. So that's a powerful energy. That's not an inferior energy to masculine just because we live in a masculine society. We've been disrupted from our feminine energy. And this is the source of a lot of abundance. This is our creator energy, right? And so the masculine energy is beautiful energy. That's a legacy energy. The masculine energy can take what the feminine does for the home and make it last for generations, right? Like that's what the masculine energy is looking at, long-term provision. Right? So you want both energies. You want the creator energy, that spark of creation, the inspiration, connecting to your intuition, birthing those ideas to be happening. So you want that. That's the key to the abundance, is the receiving as well. The feminine is the receiver. The masculine is the giver. So we have to have both of those energies within us to operate. So somewhere we're stuck within this energy, and it could be because we've been not acknowledging our feminine energy, or we have blockages. What I see here is just the world and all the patriarchy and all the masculine energy, which, by the way, is also not fair to the masculine energy that exists within any of us, because it's being represented in a very toxic way. True leadership is not, I'm an authority over you and you will like put me on a pedestal. That is not true leadership. But that's how they make the masculine seem, that the masculine is meant to climb and climb and climb and climb to this level of alpha, right? But that's just toxicity too. the masculine or true power, true leadership is elevating people, right? It's recognizing the gifts that are in everybody else, because you want the best for the collective, and the best for the collective is going to be looking at somebody and saying, man, you're really good at that. I want to see more of that, because that's going to make the collective better. That's going to make us better. That's not just me getting more accolades and more, right? So that feminine energy and the way that society has been out of sorts or out of alignment for a while. This isn't the awakening of the feminine. This isn't, the first time that feminine energy has been represented or understood or embodied within society. It's been done before. And when you look at a lot of the communities or the societies that there are, if you look at ants, you look at bees, you look at elephants, you look at whales, you look at all of these particular groups, and they are run by females, right? It's a queen bee, it's a queen ant, it is the lead female elephant, the oldest mare that derives the herd, that shows them, that takes them where they're meant to go, leads them to water. Like the same thing with whales, right? So there's this whole destruction that they've done by telling us that the feminine energy was wrong, that the feminine energy was inferior. And it was all based on, well, because I physically could beat you up if I wanted to, then that means I'm stronger than you. And it's like, so if you're a bad person and you can beat a woman up, that means you're stronger than her. And you get a bigger seat at the table. You get a better, like, I know that the masculine energy protects, but any female who is by herself is protecting herself, right? Because we have that nature within us. We can protect ourselves. We can protect our children too. So this is just a really interesting reading. So we're not in our feminine energy, and this could be because the culture is not within our feminine energy. So it's about time that we start to embody that. Because it can be blocking us, or we're seeing delays. We're seeing delays because we're not open to receiving, or we have some blockages in that way. Maybe we're being very giving right now, and being giving is beautiful. I just talked about in the beginning of being in generosity of spirit, right? I'm here out of generosity of spirit, and I hope that you are too. Because you want to give without an expectation of necessarily receiving. It's not a transactional thing. I just know that the way that I end up receiving when I give is through spirit. I give generously of my spirit to you, and I know that spirit gives generously to me. That's the way that it works. So what else does the collective need to know? Apparently we need to know this. Okay. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles in the shadow, and I can understand that the collective energy right now, there is a lot of fear around finances, where there's a lot of us that are experiencing lack right now. And what I talked about earlier about that concept of what you give your attention to grows. So even if you can't get yourself to look at your life as it's abundant, maybe you can look at it with appreciation. How can I appreciate what I do have? And we know that there's a lot of people in the world that have it worse, right? And that to me is a blight on humanity as it is, right? As far as I'm concerned, there should never be a society where people can't afford to eat while people are holding on to billions and billions and billions of an illusion, by the way, because at any point in time, you just print more of it. So, like, it's not real, right? Hi, Lolly. I love you. Welcome. Right. So it's this silly thing, but no society should go without food. No society should have people who are treated as less than. No society should allow war, right? Why? Like, I just want to pause, like, and just like when you sit with yourself. So because a government decides that that land should be their land, it's okay for them to go and kill people? What? How is that humane? How is that okay? How is it okay that at a time when we're seeing more and more and more groceries, like the cost of groceries, and I remember seeing the statistics at one point, maybe a couple of quarters ago, where Loblaws posted that they'd made like $5 billion in profits or something like that, and meanwhile butter had went up like 65% in the amount of profits that they were making off of it, right? And you're like, how do we live in a society that this is okay? And how isn't everybody awake to it and going, wait a second, I don't care if you believe that the harder you work, the more that you make and you deserve it because you did a lot of work. Absolutely. Perfect. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, who determines there should be a cap? Like, why does anybody need so much when people are starving? But I can't wrap my head around that. And for me, it'd be a question to each of the individuals. How can you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that? How do you sleep at night? Do you sleep? And they'd be like, oh, I sleep comfortably in my 7th yacht. Right? And it's like, I don't get it. Hi. So we're all connected through the field. We're all connected through the quantum field. We are all energy. That energy is connected. You can look at it as a variety of ways. If you look at source as the center of a spider web, and as that spider web extends out, say each one of those points in the web, that could be considered to be another soul. That's everybody's connected to the source, but also to each other through that web. So when we connect in energetically, then you can receive cards that are aligned with what you need to hear. Spirit likes to channel messages through people, and a lot of different ways that the message gets channeled is through divination tools. And that's all that the tool is. So it's a message that maybe you want to have, right? You need to have, you're searching for, and your guides, your spirit guides and angels are like, hey, this is the message she needs to hear, but she's not hearing it from us because she's not paying attention to the way that we're speaking to her. So we're going to send her over here to this tarot reader so that she can get the message. We're going to channel it through her and give it to her via cards. Okay. Yeah. Right. So we're starting to see the reawakening of the divine feminine, and they do lack empathy, right? We're building a society of narcissists, is because a narcissist wants to look good and wants to be on top, and a narcissist will go and consume and consume and consume. They'll go chasing anything that they believe will elevate their status, their beauty, their whatever, right? So they'll go out and do all of those things. So they're a very beautiful customer of the machine. They're a very beautiful customer of the machine, right? We've got the Knight of Wands coming out, and the Knight of Wands is about passion and creativity, right? So we do have some fiery emotions potentially around right now, but I think that we're starting to feel that. We're starting to feel the energy shifting, right? This is like Aries energy coming in. And maybe that's what it is these are the cards. This is the energy that we've been sitting with for a while now. We've been sitting with that feeling of lack, which is blocking us. Whenever we're in fear or whenever we're focused on the past or the future, we're not in the present. We're not opening ourselves to inspiration to be the channel, right? Your ex? Why do you care what your ex is doing? Is he affecting you in your current space? Right? So, for anybody that says that, so I'm in a situation where I got a few readings on my ex, and the readings came off like he's projecting onto me and blaming me. So if he's not doing anything in your current state, right, then why do you care what he's doing that you're not aware of? Right? That's the question that I would ask you as someone that works, in mental health and trauma and stuff like that, right? That would be the question that I would ask, right? Sorry, I had to lean forward. And yes, I was squinting just a little though. All right. So let's see what's coming up with this beautiful creativity, this passionate energy, right? This beautiful thing coming in. Oh, that's beautiful. Nice combo. Like almost 50-50 Scorpio Sag. I have 5 Sagittarius placements and 1 Aries. That's all Aries. That's all my fire signs. And then I've got Taurus and Virgo, some Scorpio, some Pisces, like a whole bunch of things after that. But a big old mixture. Missing a bunch of things, but oh, no, baby, no, Angela, or I think it's Angelus. It's okay. No. Understanding a little more of the context. Okay, working together, that definitely makes it challenging. Him being rude, he's projecting onto you and blaming you for sure, right? And I don't think that what the tarot readers are telling you is incorrect in any way. That's what he's potentially doing. Yeah. yes, we could make a good combo, have all the signs. But some relationships are only for so long, right? There's a lot of relationships where they come into our lives for a reason, for a season, for that kind of thing. If it's bothering you, then have a conversation with him, right? Have a conversation with him and just ask him, like, why, what is it that you like, what is the issue here? Like, why are you treating me like this? Right? Like, we're done, we're over. So why are you treating me like this? Right? Aquarius, Gemini moon, Sag sun. Nice. That's a good combo because they're more alike than they are separate. Right? So yeah, don't apologize, Angela. I love that you're right. Yeah, sometimes my guides are a little, or we get a little spicy. So if you work together, do you work together still? I do want to reach out to see if he's okay. And we left off on good terms, which is weird. He's treating me indifferently after 4 years. Well, it's been 4 years. Like, if that's the case, like if you guys broke up 4 years ago, right, then just let it go. Especially if you haven't spoken. I'm confused now. It's okay. We're going back to the main reading. We're going back to the main reading. All right, collectively, what do we need to hear, Spirit? We've got this beautiful energy coming in here, and I really feel like this energy is the shift because of that full moon. Right? I am friends with one of my exes, and it's okay. But they actually, like, after we separated, they went on and got therapy and stuff like that. But they also, it's one of those things that's situational. But for most of us, you're like, and I'm one of those people, like, honestly, I had one of my exes connect with me, like, after we broke up about 2 months afterwards, and ask me if I had something of his. And I was like, apparently you don't know Sagittarius very well, because I either donated it, sold it, trashed it, or burned it. But in some way, I've redacted you from my life within 2 months. I'm like certain of it. Um, like, sorry, unless I'm thinking that there's something left open behind that door, it's done. Burn it, baby. Yeah, I was gonna send him a video of. I'm gonna make a video at some point. I'm like, if you question whether your ex Sagittarius has your stuff, think again, and then just show the different things, right? Like donating, selling, trashing, and then finally burning it. It's perfect. Burn, baby, burn. Oh, we got a card hiding behind my. Ooh, look at, we are being nostalgic, guys. That's what we've been doing. We've been being nostalgic. We're looking in the rear view mirror. Why are we looking backwards? Is that because somebody came back from the past? Someone coming back from the past, though, this is not about that. The other card that's here is the card that this is referenced to. That's not going to give us cause for celebration. This is not the person that we're meant to celebrate or marry that's coming in from the past. They may be coming in with all these beautiful, fiery emotions and, bringing in this beautiful energy, but they're not for you. Yeah. No, it's not odd that Cancer holds grudges. Are you kidding me? That's an absolute with Cancer. Right? Cancer is very good at holding grudges. Cancer's the crab, man. Like, once you get in, you get in. But if you get in and something happens, then you get out and you don't get back in. There's a shell there for a reason. Right? Like, that's, yeah. So we got this beautiful King of Wands coming out. The King of Wands is an inspirational leader, could be a spiritual leader, an entrepreneur. This is someone that has followed their passions to leadership, right? The wands, or the fire element, is about following your desires. This is about inspired action is the word that I was thinking. Yeah, no, it's okay. You are young. Yeah, absolutely, you are young. But the challenging conversations are more of a challenge because we set that up to be a challenge in our minds. If I'm going into a conversation before I have the conversation and I'm anticipating that it's going to be a conflict, then I'm going to bring the energy of anticipating a conflict into the space, and that conflict is going to happen because I'm going to be ready for it. And without even realizing it, maybe I've got, I have a different expression on my body language is different. My posture is different. My tone's different. The inflections, stuff like that, like without even realizing it, because you're geared up for a fight, right? So you come in all defensive, and then you create the fight from your defensiveness. So you have to just, just think of it's just a conversation. It doesn't have to be a difficult conversation. And it's okay if he's moved on. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Let it go. So there could be this spiritual leader coming in. So we do have like this real fire energy here, right? We've got this King and Knight of Wands. So a lot of fiery, passionate energy coming in. And we just got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is about new beginnings, new love. The Ace of Cups can also be a relationship with yourself where you are falling more in love with yourself, which you have to, right? If you don't love yourself, then you're going to be accepting partial love, because that's you love at the depth and receive love at the depth in which you feel about yourself. So if you don't think that you're worthy, you're going to find somebody that's going to show you over and over and over again that you're not worthy until you learn that you are. It's just the way that it happens. Hi, Laverne. My brother has the same name, and so does my dad. Yes, a lot of water and fire cards. Absolutely. Absolutely. With the only major arcana that we have besides the Empress is the Hermit, and the Hermit is the one that represents Virgo energy. It's the only one now we have the Sun, but the Sun doesn't represent one of the signs in that way. The Strength card represents Leo, even though I think it should have been the Sun because the Sun governs Leo. But the Sun here is a giant yes card. It means that good stuff is coming in. But maybe the whole thing is developing or deepening that relationship of love with yourself. What can you do each day to show yourself love? What can you do each day that is loving towards yourself, right? And speak lovingly towards others as well, because your subconscious doesn't know anything but the self. So whatever your subconscious takes in, it takes in towards the self. Okay. Wow. Oh, you got to get out. You got to get out, Richard. Oh, ooh. Oh, I showed that die. I thought I had them facing this way. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So even though we are going to see these things come in, this joy, this abundance, this inspiration, this shift coming in through this Knight of Pentacles, this is slow and steady. This is the slowest moving knight of them all. But we've got the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is this. I love this card. Some people will see this card come up and it's like, oh my God, what are we walking away from? But we're walking away from anything that doesn't serve us. And that's good because that's walking towards the things that are, right? We can't, I used to say it like this: if I don't like this cup, I can't put another one in my hands until I let it go. I have to let this cup go to get another one, right? You can't. I can't have a relationship that's healthy in the place where I already have a toxic relationship. I mean, it'd be weird. It'd be weird to be in a polygamous relationship where one dynamic was healthy and the other was unhealthy. It'd be weird. I mean, I'm thinking the whole thing would be unhealthy. Right? Definitely we get some air in there too. So we have to get all the signs in here. So that 10 of Swords is just, we're done. We're going to walk away. Enough is enough. Maybe we've been manipulated enough. Maybe we've been lied to enough. Maybe we've seen this pattern before and we're like, enough is enough. Or maybe we're deciding to choose us, choose our dreams, choose our desires, choose the things that light us up. I'm good. How are you, Carlo? Such warm coffee. All right, let's see. What are we walking away from? What are we walking away from? Or what's coming for the collective? Let's ask Spirit that. Spirit, what's coming for the collective? Woohoo! We got the Lovers with an emotionally stable individual. So this could be either what is coming is balance and harmony and emotional stability and maturity and peace, right? This is just beautiful energy. Or it's a relationship with someone very mature and, emotionally stable. Maybe you become that and you're the person that's going to ask for that. So we're walking away from all of this stuff that isn't serving us. Maybe it's mindset. Maybe it's your limiting beliefs. Maybe it's a job. Hello. Yay. Wasn't it beautiful? Wasn't that just beautiful? I'm so glad you did that. I'm so glad you did that. Yesterday in the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective, I let everybody know about the new practice that I started yesterday, and that is the first 15 minutes of the day, 4949 for your number there. The first 15 minutes of the day, I don't do anything. I just sit in silence. I don't touch my phone. I can make a tea and sit and drink my tea, but I just sit in silence and try to just connect with myself. right? It was just beautiful. And so it was just really nice. 1111, yay! 1111, make your wishes, guys. Send them out to the universe. There's so many ways that we can, manifest and move our thing. That's so cool. That's so cool. See, synchronicities. That's really, oh, wait, a card had fallen out. Our problem is we are hesitant to start. What are you afraid to start? Why are you afraid to take the risk? Did I not? I told the group yesterday. So just so you know about taking risks, right? I was telling everybody yesterday, I used to work as the director of nursing and member of senior management, where I helped run a hospital and 105 bed long-term care. So we had a full hospital, emerge, acute care. We had OR suites, all of that. So so is Simon. Sorry. Look at the connections that we make, guys. This is the collective. This is energy. You can't, I don't know how you make this up. I'm in Ontario, by the way. I'm not in Quebec. But the two people in YouTube, the one person's name is Simon. The other person says, my last name is Simon. And then Simon, with the last name Simon, says, I'm from Quebec. And I already knew that Simon, with the first name, was from Montreal. So we have two Simons, first name Simon and last name Simon, in YouTube at the same time, who are in Quebec. Right. So anyway, synchronicities, right? It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So, I lost my train of thought because of the synchronicities that just got me all excited. We're afraid to start them. Oh, the risk story. So I was working as the director of nursing, senior management, all of that. And after I left that job, I left that job to go in on my company. I jumped off the ledge. I was making 6 figures a year, 150,000 I was being paid at the end of my time as a nurse. I was making $150,000 a year working as a occupational health nurse because after I left that job, jumped off into my career. I didn't have a safety net. I didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up. I didn't have anything. I had a dream. I had a vision. I believed that God would have my back. I trusted in the universe, and I said, catch me. And I jumped. And it's been a wicked 3 years, let me tell you. There's been many times when I was thinking, what did I do? What have I done? But it's so part of who I am. It's a part of my soul and my passion to help and to help in whatever ways I can, whether that's through providing clarity, helping with trauma, doing healing. I've been a healer on numerous lives that I've experienced. A spiritual teacher. I am meant to be a teacher with all of my Sagittarius, especially North Node Sagittarius. So it's been a wild ride. But I didn't do it with a safety net. I did it with just the hope and the belief that it was all going to work out no matter what. Even when it wasn't working out, I still believed it was going to work out. And I still believe it's going to work out. I have this deep knowing that when you follow your dreams and when you do it in service, that ends up returning to you. And Gene Keys was a big help for me, though, because I was able to look at it and go, yeah, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So that can give you some real insight into how you show up. Teacher, healer. I teach you to heal. I really do. I teach you to heal in a variety of ways. And I teach you to heal a lot by connecting to spirit and to your energy, connecting to your heart, the core of who you are, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And also connecting to your feelings, which means connecting to your feminine energy. It's really important that all of us, masculine or feminine, that we all connect to our feminine energy, and that the masculine remembers what is healthy masculinity. What does that mean? Right? And we can give some ideas of what is healthy, but I see. So this is why. This is the hesitation here. The hesitation here is that Seven of Pentacles. Maybe before we put in a lot of work and we didn't get a lot of results from it, and so we're like, eh. No, I actually have not worked, and I've not worked with the werewolf spirit. No, you can teach me about that though, Richard. Simon joined our collective, the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective yesterday, guys. I want you guys to welcome him. I hope he can join us today after the live when we go to the collective. So this is going to be exciting. So this is the one where we worked really hard at something and the results aren't there. So like I said, with my company of 3 years, this could be that space where there's something new that you have to start, but you're hesitant to start it because you've for 3 years spent working hard on the company and not seeing the results that you were hoping for, like the fruits of the labors. I'm just going to use mine, right? You know what the beauty about it is that you get to determine your level of participation. So you can just chat, like type, just like you're doing here, and stay just, with your picture or whatever it is on YouTube, or you can turn your voice on so you can speak and not have your camera, and then you can put your camera on. And do note that people put their camera on and turn it off and put it on and turn it off, and they turn it off after a little bit and they go do house cleaning or other activities while they listen to me in the background like I'm a podcast that's playing. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Sometimes when I connect with people, sometimes I get pictures of their past lives. I get visions like that. So that's cool. Very cool. Like past life stuff, but yeah, not in this life. Not in this life. Good morning, Salasia. How are you, love? Blessings, Debs. Okay, so we're hesitant because this could be like somebody in a relationship, right? Maybe you worked really hard, you poured your heart and soul into a relationship and it didn't work out. So now you're hesitant to start a new relationship because you're like, oh my God, all the work I put into the last one to end up here, right? That's the kind of energy that has. Someone was manipulated before, someone stole something, or someone lied, and maybe even you're lying to yourself. Maybe you were lying to yourself. Alrighty. But we got to get from this one to that one, right? We have this whole stream of shadow stuff that we're moving through, right? Manipulation into this space of, of a beautiful abundance and love and joy and, connection and all of that. So we're moving to that space. So what is the bridge? What is the bridge that's getting us there? What's going to wake us up? What's going to help us? What do we need to move from this pile to that pile? I mean, you have to have a leap of faith. There's a leap of faith that's required, right? You have to take a chance. You have to take one step, right? If, I worked with a lady that had agoraphobia, and she had become quite isolated. We can understand how COVID could really, really make that a difficult thing, because they made your neighbor the enemy. They made everybody in society the enemy. So we're really hesitant to interact with people. And for people that already had some societal anxiety, this really perpetuated it to an extreme level. And so, the work in doing that is just getting yourself to go and touch the door handle. Get to the point where you can open the door, get to the point where you can step out on your doorstep, so it's taking those incremental steps. So just take those steps to get there. Nice. Beautiful. I like that. So yeah, it could be something that you can incorporate, definitely like incorporating their energy in it, and delving into that. Yeah, that's beautiful. just talking about werewolf spirit and working with druid energy and stuff like that, which is just beautiful. I don't specifically in this. What about you, Salasia? Do you work with werewolf spirit or druid energy? I know that some of my followers on here and in the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective have different skill sets as well. Oh, so we're participating in our own struggle. Remember, I was asking, what do we need to move from one space to the other? You need to know that you've got the key to let yourself out of the door. You're the one who can save yourself, and you have the key. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is us. We know that's not aligned with us. We know this is not the space that we're meant to be in, or we know that the way that we talk about ourselves, or the things that we're ingesting, or the things that we're watching, or certain practices, relationships, our job, the way that society is as a whole, that it's not for us. Like, it's not right. But we're not doing anything to change it. This is that we're just allowing, like, this is a very victim space to be in, right? We've got the key. We can open the door. We just have to do the work. Like, there's actually that physical part of, or that mental part of it, right? Oh, you're welcome. I was going to say, I do act, like I said, I was an activator. I activate people sometimes without even meaning to. And, you know, you could get a session with me and I'll just activate you on purpose. Totally. Alrighty. So we know what we need to do to get from this stack to this stack. We have to go get the key, open the door. So we have to do the physical work. We can't just think about it. We actually have to do it. So if you want to have heightened clairs, what are you doing to practice? Right? If you want to manifest, are you manifesting? Right? Then come and hang out with us, Mariana. Come and hang out with us in the collective. If you think that what happens here is good, come and hang out there, or, sign up and do a one-to-one session with me, right? And I'll unblock you. Like in a quantum regression and integration therapy session, that can really get to the root cause. It'll get to the root cause of whatever's keeping you stuck. Now, if you have a lot of trauma, you may have more than one core wound. Like you could have the core wound of not being good enough. You could have the core wound of abandonment, right? So there's definite wounds that you could have. So you'd have to do it for you'd have to do it for each of those core wounds. But even if you got the main one that's keeping you stuck and move that out and replace it with better energy, you'd be far better off. But you're not alone. You're here with us. You're here with us regardless of whether you join us in the collective or not. Alrighty, so we're going to go into readings. While you guys were listening to the collective, did you guys make a decision if you want 1 to 2 cards each? Ooh, soulmate energy. Do you want 1 to 2 cards each so everybody gets cards, or do you want me to do more expansive readings and pick somebody for cards? Your choice. We've got, a few between each of these, but we're doing tarot and tea. Just remember, though, if you sign up for a card, you're signing up to hear the message, whatever the message is. I try to deliver it with love and know that it does come from a loving place. Right? It's beautiful energy. Okay. So who wants cards? Let's get a list going. Who wants cards? And then maybe if I see a lot of people wanting cards, and I'm like, maybe I'll be generous and give everybody 2 or 3 cards. Like Rapunzel from Tangled. Yeah, I'll let down my hair. I'll let down my hair. Come on, let's go. Come with me. All right, we're starting off with spiritual love. We're starting off with spiritual love. As a subscriber, I do prioritize my subscribers. Leo energy coming in with the Strength card. The Strength card is Major Arcana number 8. The Strength card, you have the strength to get through whatever it is. The bottom of the deck is the 2 of Swords. This is about indecision. So there's some indecision. And maybe a Leo, maybe there is a Leo coming in. Leo and Aquarius is a good combo, depending on the other stuff that makes up. Aw, love you. Thank you. Good morning, Jessica. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? And thank you for following me, Rose Ambar and Highlight Bender. TT, you guys. I'm doing very well. Leo and Libra is a little bit more. I can talk about some of those things. Simon's a Leo. Yum. Leos are. I like Leos, but I'm a Sag, so I'm impartial to my fellow fire signs. When we meet, like when we're looking at compatibility, there's so many. Someone's coming for you, Simon. We got Aquarius in the house. Aquarius is like, wait a sec. Yum. So Aquarius is like, I'm on it. I'm on it. She's a Canadian too, but she's in BC. Cancer, Leo, cusp. Oh, nice. Virgos. I collect Virgos. Virgos are mutable, and so is Sagittarius. So there's different ways that water and fire, you get a lot of steam. You get a lot of steam is the thing. You have to be careful with that. If you're looking at signs, you can look at elements tend to go together, right? So water goes with water, earth goes with earth, fire goes with fire, and air goes with air. You could look at that, the element, not the element, sorry, but the mode of the signs. So I see a lot. So hi, Kiora. So the other way that they go is through the mode. So you could have the cardinal signs, right? So the cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Aquarius, and Leo, and that's where they have that combination, right? So when someone's talking about Leo and Libra, sorry, no. The cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. Sorry. I crossed them. The cardinal signs. Aw, love you. I love you. So when we're looking at those signs, right, like it's and so when we're looking at the cardinal signs are your Aries, your Cancer, your Libra, and your Capricorn. You've got your mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And then the other sign, the fixed signs are your Taurus, your Leo, your Aquarius, and Scorpio. Those are the fixed signs. So they can have some combinations because of love you. The signs that can match because of those ways. But when you're looking at true compatibility, right, you want to be looking at more than just my sun sign and their sun sign. That's just such a, one faceted, such a flat way of looking at it, right? Yes. Yep. Agreed. So we've got to keep working towards the light of what we're doing. So this Two of Swords is coming out. So there's a decision that you have to make, spiritual love. There's a decision that you have to make. And, you're supposed to listen to your intuition. This isn't about a decision that you're going to make through your logic center. In fact, you feel kind of like the logic center is really what's messing with you. Okay. Which are you talking about the shapeshifters? Are you talking about the Sag cusp is the shapeshifters? I mean, there's the Ophiuchus group that if we look at the 13 signs of the astrological, like if you look at it 13 signs, then you would possibly be Ophiuchus, but it depends, right? Spiritual love. Aw, I love you. Can I elaborate on spiritual love? Like, what do you mean? When did I say that in there? Because sometimes I'm channeling messages. So when I go to recall it backwards, I can't recall it because it didn't come from me. I do say a lot that I'm a channel and that I channel messages. So some of the messages come through the cards. Some of them come from other ways, right? Yeah. So technically, I mean, my favorite thing about Sages is that the Sagittarius crew are they're the only ones that have a weapon. Yeah. Oh, listening to your intuition, right? When we're listening, our brain is going to take us in an egoic way. And you're operating egoically when when you're looking at how it can improve you or better you, or, like there's another accolade or another thing. You can ask questions. I reserve the right to answer them. I don't choose to answer the question until someone asks it. Yes. There could be just some energy that you haven't processed about them. There could be some information that maybe they're, depending, right? You could be picking up information from them. Yeah, it is. It's about trusting your intuition, right? Like, you've got this. You've got this no matter what choice you make. Right? No matter what choice you make, you've got this, but you have to listen to your intuition. It's not the logical sense that's going to direct you, right? So 111 can be new beginnings, right? 111 can be new beginnings. So there could be a new beginning that's coming in with that individual. It could be that you're finally relinquishing some energy that had you tied to that individual so that you can have a new beginning with someone else, right? But for you, like, I mean, but the real question is, what does it mean for you? What meaning are you giving it? What meaning have you assigned it? Right? So you want to see let's check. What is spiritual love's decision? What is the decision that you're fighting with? Well, look at the Seven of Cups, like decisions, 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 which one to make. Well, what if I make the wrong one? So you're worried about making the wrong choice. Huh. You're worried about it. Aw, thank you. Oh, Aquarius is beautiful energy. Was what for you? Those cards there, the indecision ones? And no, this is just spiritual love. She's not listening to herself. The Aquarius card in the shadow, right? This is the star card, which represents Aquarius when it's in the shadow, right? We're like your dreams, right? You this is wish upon a star energy manifested, all your dreams coming true, and you're in the shadow space right now. But so Aquarius is in the shadow because Aquarius doesn't realize she has all the strength. You know what to do. You know what to do. You've got this. I talked to you about this last time, right? I talked to you about this last time, that you've got this. But you do need this card's is in the upright. It was in the middle of the deck when I was shuffling it. This is saying like you need to rest. So if you're thinking along the lines of like a relationship, it's not time. It's not time. You need more rest and recuperation and healing, right? It's not time. Yes, yes. I heard another powerful thing, and Simon reminded me of it, which is beautiful, right? Rather than saying that we have all of these things in common, oh, he likes spirituality and I like spirituality, and he likes football and I like football, and he likes, right? Like, rather than ask yourself that, ask whether your values align. Okay. Do your values align? Mhm. So I love that. There's some really deep ways that you can check into things. But most people, they look at surface level astrology. They're not looking at the compatibility between, your Venus and Mars, or your communication styles, like what is in Mercury. Because there could, like, when you think about the core values of relationship, right? The way that you love and express yourself and stuff in the Venus sector, TT, that's going to be important, right? So it's like looking at all of looking at those combinations going down. But I like gene keys and I like human design. I really do. Those ones are beautiful. All right. Unfortunately, and I'm not being negative, but everything you know is a lie. It's going to come out. It's going to come out very soon, all of it. What do you mean everything I know is a lie? Can you elaborate on that? Just because everything is a very inclusive thing. Everything is the broadest term that you could make, right? So I don't do concrete terms like that. Oh, I know all about that. I know all about the facade. I know all about the facade. Right, and there are people out there who who look at certain elements and are trying to, but you have to be careful, like, who's telling people that that certain elements are dark, right? Who gains by saying yoga is a devil practice? Right, we have to always ask ourselves that. And at the end of the day, you have to discern, and I say this all the time, I don't care who you listen to, what side you're on. If you are the government is the be all, they're saving us, yay Taylor Swift. I don't care if you're in that camp or if you're in God, let's live naturally, let's be, all these spiritual, like, it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of spirituality and physicality and societal and all of that stuff, right? At the end of the day, no matter what information you're getting, you have to discern what is in alignment and true to you, right? If you're listening to me and something doesn't sit right because of what I say, then that does not align with you, and that's okay. Okay. Oh, I love you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pick another person for a card. We just did spiritual love. And hi, Dawn. Hello. How are you? And I know I summarized your whole name down to Dawn. You know what, Kiora? If you want to delve into questions like this, you can always come and join us in the collective, right? It's going to be dawn, dark till dawn. And I'm going to pull for dark till dawn. That's just that. Dark till dawn. Yeah, and unfortunately, like, today is Tarot and Tea Tuesday, and I answered the one question about your dream. I don't want to keep exploring questions about all the dreams that you had. This is not a dream thing right now. I think that I think that you don't trust yourself, so you're asking for me to confirm the things, the feelings, and the knowledge that you have. Right. So when you have a dream where somebody makes you feel safe and secure, then there's a good thing, that there's a good indication that that person is safe and secure, and there's something your dream's trying to tell you about that. Likewise, if you have a dream and you wake up crying and it makes you feel sad, like you actually feel sad or hurt or something like that, well, then is that person the same as the person you had this safe and secure dream about? Because if not, then your guides are telling you, or your higher self is giving you messages via your dreams about these people and how they are to you or how they feel about you. So at the end of the day, if we're asking questions and we keep asking questions, then sometimes the question itself is showing just there's a lack of trust in the information that you know, and you just need to trust what your discernment is. Because at the end of the day, I get a glimpse of what you're saying, right? When you get those glimpses of those little, yeah, exactly. We don't want it to be what we don't want it to be. Yeah, but that's your discernment. That's where you have to sit with yourself, right? Okay, yeah. But the thing is what, okay, so we'll pause before I do the next reading. So so for you, what you're like, and we get tied up in this. So I made a decision to go back to my ex, who was not a good partner the first time around. I made that decision. I could say I can't trust myself because I did that. I made the decision to go back to somebody when I didn't really think that it was a good idea. Like if I checked in with myself, my whole self was like, no. But I went against it. I didn't listen to myself. I didn't listen to that information. So I went back to that. So therefore, the universe is saying you get to have this experience. And this experience is going to teach you something, should you choose to learn it. If you don't choose to learn it, you get to re-experience that. Right. So it's not about not trusting yourself. You're making the decision that you need to make at the time, because you either have learned the lesson, so you ain't repeating it, or you haven't learned the lesson and you need to cycle through it another time. Right. So everything that happens, you're choosing for it to happen because you need it to happen, which means that all the time you're on the right path. What your reality is that's in front of you is there because you choose it to be there in one way or another, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. I try to convince people to be conscious of what they are creating in their reality. So that means that you have to take stock of the thoughts that you have, the words you speak, not just about yourself, but to everybody else and about the world. And you have to start to think about, how am I moving towards the life that I want to have? If I see myself living on a beach, then why am I living in like the Northwest Territories if I was living there? Right? What's keeping me locked in that space? Is it that I physically can't move? Am I locked up? Can I not move places? Because if that's something I know inherently is just in my DNA, I need to live by the beach. I need to live by the water. I need to live in the tropics. Then the only one that's stopping me from doing that is me. And so what is it that's blocking me, right? So then I'm making choices. Well, what is the choice that I'm choosing? Am I choosing me or am I choosing somebody else? And maybe that's the lesson that I need to learn. So I'll keep having like not great scenarios until I choose me. And I use the beach as a quick little example, right? So if you get information that comes into you like a dream, and the dream gives you an indication that that person isn't good for you, but you disregard the dream and you go and be with that person, you're going to learn something. It's not that you can't trust yourself, right? It's that you need to learn to listen. So here we like to call it, listen, Linda, like we're not listening. And your angels and guides speak to you all the time, and your angels and guides would love you to talk to them. They would love for you to connect with them. They're actually so sad, so many guides and angels that are just sitting around going, oh my God, I wish they just realize I'm here and I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to guide them. I mean, besides like literally pushing them in front of the bus, like I don't know what other thing I can do. Oh, I don't know. I'm not, anyway, Anyway, I'm sorry. I went on to a little bit of a diatribe about that, but you get the information from that you get at this time. Yeah, that's, we weren't going to delve into dream diagnose or dream analysis and stuff like that, or even really in analyzing those relationships. You know what is right for you. You know in your heart of hearts, you know in your soul, if you sit in silence and peace, right? Hi, Steve. How are you? Yep. Just because and that's the true thing. Just because your ego thinks it's good for you doesn't mean your soul does. Exactly. It doesn't matter which branch you hop on, you'll reach the top. It's a very valid statement, right? Because we're all headed to this, like we're all headed to that point. It's just, if you turn right instead of left, that right is going to go left again, and it just takes you on a different route. So some of us chose the scenic route, right? Enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. All right, dawn till dark. Dark till dawn. Sorry, dark till dawn. What does dark till dawn need to hear today? He is Merlin. He's Merlin with his words. All right, what does dark till dawn tarot? Ooh. So I have to pick this up like this because it came out sideways. Some of us are just more stubborn, or some of us refuse to listen, right? Some of us really do have a hard time listening. We really want to control and say, no, I want it to be this, right? And I'm going to use this as a very, like, most people know who Henry Cavill is. He plays Superman. He's a good looking person. Most women think he's very handsome. So I use that as an example. So, like, the whole time we can get fixated on wanting that. I want that to be my divine partner. That's who my divine partner should be. And meanwhile, we're manifesting a healthy relationship, and we're like, oh my God, I just want a healthy relationship. I want a healthy relationship. And this is my divine spirit. You know what's hilarious, Simon? My bestie boo over here, like one of my bestie boos over here, her name is Denise, and she goes by the moniker Spiritual Warrior. He just called himself a spiritual warrior, Denise. I think you should show him your title. I love it. I love it. All right. So dark till dawn. This was sideways. So this isn't a yes or a no. This is kind of the in between. We need to get some clarity on that card. We know in the upright position, the sun card is yes. It's a giant yes card. It's abundance, joy, inspiration. It's a beautiful card to get. 222 behind J-Bo's name there coming in. So 222s. Oh yes, I resonate with the Vikings for sure. Ooh, another card. I'm serious, Dawn. This card completely sideways too. The 8 of Wands. This is getting exciting. We've got two things in a pause stay in between. So things can be yes and abundant and all of that stuff. Things can be coming in quickly, or I feel like you're making a decision. Are you like, you're right in between? Like, I bet you if I pulled out the other cards, we'd get the in between. All right. Can we get some clarity on this? We need some clarity. We need some cards coming either upright or shadow. Where are we headed from these two? Or how can we transition this? Can I get some clarity, Spirit, for dark till dawn? She definitely needs some clarity. Okay, so there's a decision between the comfort and and taking a risk. So what is it that you need to take a risk on? Where's the comfort zone? All right, what is this risk she needs to take? Could be even traveling. Have you been feeling the urge to move? And you're resisting moving. You're resisting the transition. But you know what? On the other side of the transition is everything that you're looking for, right? Abundance and success, self-love, right? New beginnings, new hope. And then those cards turn yes, right? Is that, can we get confirmation on that? If she transitions, if she chooses that, she moves in that direction, does the Magician? Yeah. You are the magician. You are the magician. You have the skills and talent. You can manifest you can manifest the reality that you want. You can do that. You've got this. Hi, Pamela. Nice. You're so welcome. Yeah, you have to choose you. You have to choose you, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it's actually fortunately, but sometimes we get ourselves in those situations and it's like, oh, yeah, but you have to choose you. I love you. All right. Who am I going to choose next? Same, same. I have ancestors in Ireland and Scotland too. And then Mohawk ancestry as well. But my mom used to affectionately say we were Heinz 57. We got French and we got this and we got that. And, and I'm like, all right. And then when I was in my 20s, I found out that I was a quarter Mohawk. And so then that sent me on that little path for a while, delving into. So we mixed breeds. Yes. I did a lot of, I did ancestry.com, and my one uncle had done it as well. He's now deceased, but he was actually my grandfather's brother. So he's like my great uncle. But yeah, he had done his genealogy, and I did mine for my children. Actually, so I did it back on both sides. And oh my God, I laughed because of like my genealogy took a totally different path, but like their dad, he was like, came from lords and ladies and, like people who had like actual like plantations and like big things like during and like in the in South Africa and stuff like that, like being like rich white landowners in South Africa, and then like ladies and lords in England and stuff like that. Like he was full English in it. So it was just so freaking funny. And then I'm looking at mine, and like one of my ancestors was in the newspaper because he got caught with a moonshine still. And I'm like, on a much more colorful ancestors than you. Like, we're creating moonshine in the backyard, and you guys are all lords and ladies. Here's my stipend. So it was quite funny. But yes, I do. Finding out the ancestry was fun, and definitely a warrior. I identify strongly as a warrior. I got rid of the survivor thing. So as somebody with an enormous amount of trauma from childhood, and I carried that on into my adulthood as well. But with all of that, I have I didn't like calling myself a survivor, because surviving just means you just made it through, right? You just made it. But I like the idea of being a warrior, right? Because it's a fight. It's a fight. They sorry for language for anyone that has an issue with it, but they fucked you up and now you got to fix it. Right. So, thank you very much for making me have to fix it. Yes. So yes. Alrighty. Let's see. Who am I going to pick for cards now? Who wants cards? Who wants cards? Oh, nice. Nice. I'm having fun without my glasses today. So if you come in, say hello. Yeah, you should connect with me, Richard, because I do healing. Like my number one thing when I started out in my company, the first thing that I started out with was trauma healing. And this is where I lost a few followers, because I went from trauma healing. Like I studied Gabor Mate and Peter Levine and Stephen Porges, all kinds of things, compassionate inquiry, polyvagal theory, somatic experiencing, heart math, like on and on and on. So I had all of these, certifications and stuff. And I would go on my reels and I'd be like trauma talk. And then I would hard hit you with some stuff about trauma and healing. And then somebody I met along the way had pointed out to me that that could be very triggering for somebody who hasn't dealt with their trauma. To hear somebody go trauma talk could be, like they could be just like, whoa, 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 I'm not ready to hear that. So I changed it and I went to divine healing. So I was giving like healing moments. But the problem is anytime that you put divine, a lot of people think of divine as religious, but I don't. But it's not. Divine is beyond that, beyond it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hi, Mel. How are you, love? Um, so, yep, lost my train of thought. I read a message and lost my train of thought. Yep. Yeah, we definitely, right? You have to go through the hermit stage, right? When you go through your healing journey, the first part of it is that, you may heal around other people, but at some point you have to go back into just being yourself, like by yourself, because your nervous system is hardwired to think that safety is the same environment that you were raised in, like the same environments that you've had exposure to. That's safety. So when it's unfamiliar, it's determined to be unsafe. But that's not always true. If you came from trauma, then unfamiliar could very well be the safe place. So when you're doing the healing, there is an element of time where you need to go internal and you need to really isolate yourself from people so that you can reestablish what is safety to me in my nervous system. Where is that state? So then, and also learn who you are, what makes, like, what do you like? It was that kind of that. I always go back to the movie Runaway Bride with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, because when she ran away from two weddings, was on her third wedding, and it was like, are you going or not? Like, are you going to go or not? Right? Are you going to run from this wedding is it going to be the third wedding that she runs away from? So anyway, he goes and interviews her boyfriends, and each of the boyfriends that he interviews, they tell him that it's another, like, she likes her eggs a different way, because she didn't even know who she was, right? She was always whoever that person was. And so that isolation part is an opportunity for you to learn, how do you like your eggs? What time do you want to get up in the morning? What time do you like to go to bed at night? Do you like a loud environment? Do you like a quiet environment? For many of us, we don't even know. We've spent so much time being somebody for somebody else, we don't know who we are for ourselves. So that's why that isolation space is perfect. I agree. One of my favorite things, Richard, he's just meant to be here. He's just meant to be here. It was one of my things. When I was doing my healing journey, I had sing it out, not dance it out, but I had sing it out. Scorpio time. It's Scorpio time. That's hilarious. Yes, yes. I actually danced this morning. I threw on, so for the people that are a part of the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective, the more and more that we interact, the more I start to send you memes. Level singing with Tanya. We were singing yesterday in the group. We had fun. We were pulling up old musics from the 70s from shows, right? We were having so much fun. We were listening to The Littlest Hobo, some good old famous Can Con, which was awesome. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought it could be so free. Yep, we sang that song. Much lower than the actual one, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. One of my favorite shows, The Littlest Hobo. Alrighty. Let's move on to cards for other people. Let's see. Who are we going to go with today? Who are we going to go with next? Who needs a message? Okay, Doris. What does Doris need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Doris today? We can also do faster cards. Like I said, we can do a couple of cards. Oh, Doris, these are two very opposing cards. We've got the scarcity or lack card. The Five of Pentacles is where we're dealing with financial or we're dealing with health concerns. The Nine of Pentacles is the completely opposing energy, and it's beautiful energy because she's harvesting the fruits of her labor. This is financial and material abundance. It's a peaceful time. It's a beautiful time. The difference between these two spaces is you. You can choose to be this or you can choose to be that. What are you choosing? Your husband is acting weird. Have you asked him why? How is he acting weird? Okay. So the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords, or sorry, the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about lying and manipulation. It can also be about making moves in silence. He's not talking. Can you just let him know that you're there to listen to him? You're there whenever he's ready, but not with any pressure. Right? You can do certain little things, right? Yes. Yes. Let's call in earth abundance for all of us. Earthly abundance. Yeah. So what is the quality of your relationship? Right? Sometimes we go, it's my husband and we're married. We have a legal agreement and, I love him and I think that he's a good man and we have had a beautiful relationship. We communicate well. I feel safe and seen and heard. And now all of a sudden he's going through this time and he's being difficult and he's being very quiet and withdrawn. And when I try to talk to him, he's not opening up or sharing anything and is gaslighting me when I try to talk. If that's the way, then that's a big change in behavior. That's something new, right? But if your relationship was never truly healthy and gaslighting is occurring, or this change is just another change, which is also a part of these other actions or behaviors that he shows, right? Then it's just another flag. So then you have to determine, how are you feeling, right? How does your husband make you feel? How does your husband make you feel? Right. Alrighty. So I said that okay. So I pulled for Doris. Doris was with the peace, right? Getting to the peace that there's somebody's lying, or or you need to make your moves in silence, right? Because oftentimes we'll speak about those things. Yeah, but if you feel terrible staying with him, then don't. But I mean, you have to look at is it one situation that happened? And again, sometimes one situation is all, right? If your husband all of a sudden starts calling you, horrible names and running you down and then reaches out and backhands you, one time is enough. That one time is enough to, it's your choice. It doesn't even have to get physical. It's you, at some point you determine, I'm okay. I'm done. I'm leaving. Right. Yeah. I mean, and if that's how you feel, but it's more about, how does he make you feel? Does he make you feel safe? Does he make you feel seen? Does he make you feel heard? Does he make you feel scared? Does he make you feel less than? Does he make you feel like crap? Does he make you feel like you're stupid? Does he make you feel, that's the soul vibe, soul tribe vibe. We totally have soul tribe vibe. I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's not, the two different ears of ringing can just be an indication that it's, of where it's from for sure. Okay, so back to Doris. The wave's coming, Like, I think you feel like it's never coming, whatever it is, like the finances that you're working towards. So you spend your time just staring in the rear view mirror and holding on to the past. So you're looking at the lack from before. So while your mind is in the lack that has happened. So this would be like, say you put on a big webinar, right? And I've done this. I've rolled out all these different things with my company. I've tried all these different things, because one of the things I end up doing is I get going down the road like this, and I'm like, yep, chasing my dreams, doing what is in alignment with me. I love what I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then I'm like, but wait, where's the money? But wait, like there's not enough money. Oh, I must be doing something wrong. So then I go, dude, and I start to run along a different track, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've been manifesting, and I've been giving it up to the universe, and I've been doing it in what I feel is a fairly patient manner. I'm putting out great content. I have great results. I have great transformations. I got great feedback, all of this stuff. So then why isn't the financial part? So, okay, then I change a little bit. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm doing something this way. Instead of just realizing that it's not about necessarily that there's something wrong with you, because there's not anything wrong with you. We're all in this life for the experience and to grow our soul and evolve. That's all it is. It's just, you're meant to come down here and remember who you are and be happy, right? Go chase the things that you want. So there's something that needs to be let go of, and it can be those old thought patterns, like thought patterns that are keeping you stuck, right? And that's what I did. I just shuffled my cards together, opposites. Oh well, now we got a mixed up crew of cards that are back, and they're just every which way. It's okay. It'll either bother me, but you're meant to stand on, like you're meant to be successful. You're meant to have everything that you desire. It's just sometimes we actually have to wait. We have to wait for other things behind the scenes to come together. It has nothing to do with there's something wrong with you. Sometimes, it's that we're focused on the wrong thing. And I feel for you, you're just too focused on the negative. And by being focused on the negative, you're creating more negative. So being focused on scarcity and lack creates more scarcity and lack. Okay. So just want to take a look at the time. We'll do this live until 12:30, and then I'll be in the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. So if you want to deepen the conversation or come and hang out with us there, please go to my website. You can join it on plans and pricing. The Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. It's an inexpensive subscription of $8.88 Canadian. So at the end of the day, it's $10, around $10. On November 1st, it's going to go up to $13 Canadian, though. So I do want to make sure that everyone's aware of that. I meet with you there 5 days a week. We hang out. You get access to a whole bunch of other powerful people in there as well. And at the end of the day, I believe January 1st, I will be putting it at its final price, which is $22. So it'll be a $22 a month subscription. But remember, I'm there 5 days a week, hanging out with you, and it's such a powerful collective to do. Oh, I love that. That sounds beautiful, Richard. Okay, so I'm gonna do another card. It's so weird to have my cards all mixed up, but here we go. Here we go. I will discuss that with the group. I do believe that, like, I was doing it as an entire increase for everybody across the board, because for 5 days a week, and eventually it'll change with that as well, but for the amount of time that I put into the group, I think $22 is okay. Is okay. Right. Because if I'm gonna only charge, like, if I was gonna leave it, say, at $8.88, I don't think I'd stay meeting 5 days a week for a couple of hours every day, right? Like, at some point, like, that's a lot, right? Okay, so we need to read for somebody else. We need to read for somebody else. So who am I going to pick? Who am I going to pick? Jessica. Jessica. Yeah, but we'll talk about it. We can talk about it and discuss it in group to keep, just because, like I said, I want you guys to have. Oh, I love you, Mel. I love you, Mel. You were on my list. I think I had you for the next one after Jessica, but I love you. Have a beautiful day. I'm back tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, so you can join me there. Yeah, I think the way that it'll be is if people can't afford to go to 13 or 22, that would be something they could talk to me about, and I might look at doing it as a donation, like giving a credit so that it would stay like that. But for the most part, I would probably say that if that's the case, then I would just suggest to subscribe here to this group instead, because that's the $8 price here. Okay. Is Jessica still here? Is Jessica still here before I get too deep in your cards? Yeah, but we can talk. Okay. All right, Jessica. Jessica, going once, going twice. I don't know if Mel really had to leave right now, but dang it, because I could. Yeah. All right. All right. So who else wants a card? Who else wants a card? 1212. Yay. Look at that. 1212. Okay, perfect. Mel. We're going to do Mel. So what does Mel need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message from Mel, please? Okay. So we've got the Tower card, the Tower in Shadow, and the Knight of Swords in Shadow. So the Tower in Shadow is actually the better aspect of the Tower card. Okay, so when it's in the shadow is narrowly avoiding disaster. So that could be a situation where somebody ends up, breaking up with you, and, you're like, that feels like a little bit of a Tower moment, but it actually, you were spared disaster, because had you stayed with that person, it would have been way worse. Like, they just weren't a good person. I like to look at, like the abandonment wound that I got from my dad was the best thing that I could have got, because had I stayed, he would have abused me much more. So that to me is like the God saving you moment, right? So it's like something, like it's you got saved, right? So it's the better of, like, not the total change, but something happened, but that was redirection, is God's protection, is that card. The Knight of Swords is that, it's usually very fast moving, successful energy. Like, it is, you're headed towards your goals, very, like, in your mind, like very intelligent and literal. Okay, so the Knight of Swords in the Shadow Seer position can be speaking about delays, or it could be even, you're dealing with some suppressed energy mentally. You're not, like, some blocks, or you're having difficulty making decisions, or, there's some communication issues. Swords are in the mental space. So you could be just, like, struggling to figure out what's next, where to go next. But new inspiration is coming. You got the Ace of Swords. So the new inspiration is coming. Ophiuchus is the 13th, or is the other sign. The Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is about new inspiration, new ideas, or even clarity of mind. So you're going to get this clarity, which is going to send you on the right direction. It's going to inspire you, or, like, awaken you more. Okay, can I get more for Mel? All right. It's going to be bringing in a lot of enthusiasm, but there's definitely an element of work that's going to be involved in it. Or I see this being related to work or your self-worth, because they're both in the they're both covered in the Pentacles suit. So this is the Page of Wands, is that exuberance, that beautiful, explosive creativity. It's just such a beautiful energy. Um, the Three of Wands, whatever's coming, you got the skills and talent for it. You're just waiting. You're just going to be, it's just a matter of waiting for the perfect wave to come in. And what's coming is going to be cause to celebrate, whether this is a relationship or your business, connecting with your soul tribe, but it's coming in. And it, even though there's work involved, it is going to be successful and it's going to be coming in quickly. You just have to bring those two energies together. Okay, so that's your message, Mel. What was Ophiuchus again? Ophiuchus, oh my goodness. What to think? Ophiuchus. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Denise. Welcome back. Alrighty. So I got time for one more reading. One more reading before we go to the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. Feel free to join us there. It is Tarot and Tea Tuesday, so we're going to be having a whole bunch of fun. I'm just looking here for... Nope. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is... name comes from the serpent bearer. The serpent bearer. And is commonly represented as a man grasping a snake. The serpent is represented by the constellation Serpens. Ophiuchus was one of the 48 constellations listed by the 2nd century astronomer Ptolemy, and it remains one of the 88 modern constellations. An old alternative name for the constellation was Serpentarius. So I guess us Sagittarius that are in that space would be called Serpentariuses instead of, or Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus. All righty. All right. Time for one more reading. Who wants a reading? Yes. I'd love to check out your gene keys, actually. But I love doing gene keys. And if you've not done gene keys before, something that I would suggest you look into. If you have to know your time of birth, though, unfortunately. Hi, Sherry. Haha, November 29th. Yeah, you'd be Ophiuchus. You'd be a serpent bearer or Serpentarius. Okay, Lightbender Kate. What does Lightbender Kate need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Kate? What does Kate need to hear today? Alrighty, 3 cups came out. We've got the Emperor, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. They flew out in this direction. The Emperor in the Shadow Seer. So the Emperor can be like a bit of toxic masculinity. The 4 of Pentacles is that you're not in any bad space financially. Everything's stable. Everything's fine. But it may not be like you're thriving financially. So you could feel a bit like tight on it. Hang on, Richard. Like, where's my pens? All right. All righty. So I'm born in 74. What year relation to that? Like how close are you to that, upper or downer? So the Four of Pentacles, sometimes we cling to things. And when we cling to things, so what this is saying, like if we get too focused on the money and the money isn't flowing, though, that we put our focus on the money and we start holding on to it because we are thinking in terms of lack, the universe sees that as us being in lack. Okay. And the only thing else I need is your place at some point. When you're done with putting those down, Richard, please delete your comments though, so they don't stay there, please. Okay. Or even send it, like, I don't know if you can private message on that, but make sure that you protect your information and get rid of it. But I am interested. It's my little thing. I get really excited about it. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles is, and what I'm seeing here is that you're focusing on the lack of money, or not. You're not looking at it in a good way, and like the Queen, like this is like almost like this is very spiritual energy, very emotionally attuned, psychic, like really great energy that way. So if you can sit in this energy and be very intuitive, and how do you feel about money? How do you feel about your current situation? Can you feel better towards money? Can you feel like money is like, yummy? Can you look at all the things that are going well for you and, start to follow your intuition in the direction of money, right? Or in the direction of what makes you feel good, and find money in pursuit of what makes you feel good, right? Yummy money. What else does Kate need to hear right now? Oh, we forgot we had a couple of cards over here. There may be something that you need to walk away from as well. That's coming out here with the Eight of Cups. And it could be just an actual release. It could be a mindset. It could be outside of a mindset. It could be walking away from a job, or it could be walking away from a person, a location. It's something that's not serving you, and you need to walk away from it. We've got the Hierophant and the Shadow Seer. The Hierophant is energy that represents Taurus in the major arcana, and the Emperor is Aries. So we've got Aries and Taurus in the Shadow Seer, right? So the Hierophant is about enlightenment, right? And about spiritual awakening, and is a spiritual leader. So it could be time to connect with a spiritual teacher to help you on your road to enlightenment, whether it's, let's say, like, just using as an example because I spoke about it, but the gene key reading, maybe doing, connecting with somebody, or doing your gene key reading. That is something that would help to awaken or enlighten you, because it would give you some new insight into yourself and put you more in alignment. Whatever you're waiting for is coming to you, right? You've got the skills and talents. It's just a matter of time waiting for it to arrive. Yes, you've been putting in a lot of work, and maybe the results of the work that you're putting in has not garnered the results that you've been looking for. That doesn't mean that it's not coming. It's just a delay, and it's not a delay because necessarily of you, but there's a balance or a harmony. This could even be a partnership that's coming in, and bottom or top of the deck, I don't know, because my deck is all mixed up backwards and forwards now. But staring at me is the Nine of Cups, and this is everything. This is this is fulfillment, right? Fulfillment. Yeah, 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 yep. What do you mean you did that? What do you mean you got gene keys from Shauna Lee? Shauna Lee doesn't do gene keys. Shauna Lee doesn't do gene keys. Right? Unless did she give you her book? Because I know she had an extra copy of her book, and she had talked about, like, she had an extra copy of Gene Keys, and she was going to give me the one Gene Keys book, because I have all the other books. But oh, not Gene like DJINN, Gene as in GENE. No, that's okay. Yeah, just I do a full face-to-face reading and explore. Like, I tell you what each of your keys are and the location that they're in. Like, I talk about the activation Venus and Pearl sequences, and I cover each of the keys that you have in those locations to give you insight on your path of transcendence. That's what the Gene Key reading does. So it tells you what you're meant to transcend to. And I do these readings. They take at least an hour to go through your entire Gene Key chart. Sorry, your Gene Key chart. I want to say cart, not chart, but chart. Yeah. I know that Shauna Lee, Multidimensional Muse, I know that she had talked about teaching Gene Keys on her live before, but chose not to do that because she didn't feel that she was at that point yet. That's what I know about her exposure to Gene Keys from us talking. Yeah, but that's, I mean, it could have been, but yeah, it's just definitely something that's really cool to look into to give you more insight into you. It's based on the I Ching, the 64 I Ching keys, and the placement of the sun and the moon and Venus and other stuff when at your time of birth. It's also a part of your human design, like your human design goes into, it uses Gene Keys. So human design is a foundation of, it looks at the I Ching, it looks at the Kabbalah, astrology, and the chakra system. So the human design uses a bunch of different things to come up with human design, and then Gene Key is just based on the I Ching. maybe. Hello. All righty, I'm gonna pull some cards for Richard here. Oh, Richard, there's something that you need to walk away from coming right out at the very beginning. So there's something you have to walk away from. Maybe it's just walking outside. Maybe it's just walking away from the house. All right, what else does Richard need to hear? Ooh, so the King of Pentacles and the Shadow Seer. There is going to be cause to celebration. You have to make a decision. Like, these cards are just flying out for you. The Four of Wands is 1111, and the Four of Wands being 1111 is talking about, like, celebration. Can even mean wedding. Just so, I don't know if you're looking to get married, Richard, but hey, bada boom, bada bing. Alrighty, what does Richard? So there's a decision that you have to make. The King of Pentacles being in the Shadow Seer, that could be like, financially you're not at the space that you want to be at, or, you're in shadow, right? If we look at you being the King of Pentacles and in shadow, we also just had the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Wands fall out, and they fell out like this. So the Ten of Cups is one big happy family, and the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Cups is one big happy family. So that's kind of a space that's maybe lacking right now, is that the relationship aspect of it. And so this Knight of Wands, there's something passionate, like this is enthusiasm and passion and fire that's going to be sparked up. So I think that something's going to come in, like something, you're going to be meeting up with some opportunities. Okay. Some opportunities, and these opportunities are going to make you rekindle, like whether it's taking inspired action, right? Like, say me opening you up with the werewolf and druid energy. That could be the key or the spark that's going to spark, things up. But something's going to come in that's going to make you passionate. And there's going to be lots of opportunities. And these opportunities are going to lead to a cause for celebration. It can be also like connecting with people. Jeez, that was... I have never wanted to report a construction company as much as I have wanted to. Mhm. So the card that came out is the Four of Swords, but the Four of Swords in the Shadow Seer. And what this is saying to me is that you have been nesting long enough. The Four of Swords can have different meanings. Like it's calling as a time for rest. Typically in the upright position, it's your time to rest and rejuvenate. And it can speak of healing. And in the shadow, it can be the refusal to, but I think for some people, it's not the refusal to heal, it's being stuck in that space. A lot of healing happens with other people. Like it's in our relationships that we do a profound amount of healing. So we can stunt our healing. Like I said, we may do some healing within an environment, and then we have to leave that environment because that environment, we will only heal so far within it. And we need to have our nervous system in a completely different environment so that it can figure out what safety is, what safety and security is for it outside of all of that stuff that's gone on. But for some of us, we do it so you do you heal with somebody, and then you go in that isolation thing, but then you come back out and you'll meet with people, and they'll hit you in those spots where you used to get triggered, to see if you still get triggered there. And like in a lot of ways, us experiencing those things is how we know we have stuff to heal. Like this crew, literally, like I'm in the neighborhood. There's a retirement home, there's a nursing home, there's a seniors building, there's elderly and children. Like it's a residential, and it has 3 seniors buildings between the varying stages. They, at 7 a.m. this morning, pulled out a freaking grinder and were cutting through the curb with this high-pitched squealing noise. And I was like, there has to be a bylaw somewhere that says that you can't make noise like that at 7 a.m. And why your construction crew foreman didn't make a plan so that all the noisy activities are done, I don't know, in the middle of the day or in the later on in the day, as opposed to at 7 a.m. I don't know what's wrong with your foreman, but he clearly doesn't do good project management. And I was just mad because I'm thinking about all these elderly people who, have a variety of health issues, and where sleep is such a priority in your healing. And and I know probably half the elderly were up at 7 a.m., but it's not the point. Those that are sleeping just had their sleep disrupted, and it shouldn't have been. It was so loud. And now this, like, whoever's running that dump truck, like, you dropped it heavy. Like, you did not have to drop it that heavy. Anyway, alrighty. Is there anything else for Simon? There you go, right? Simon got it. He got it. He asked for it, and it scared me. It startled me. I was not waiting for that. Is there anything else that Simon needs to hear, Spirit? Look up, Simon. Look up. Life is looking up. Yep. So this is feeling that blinded Richard. Richard. Richard Simon, not Simon. Yeah. So it's just leaning on your intuition. And once you do, like, success will come in quickly. But this is about that amalgamating energies together, that harnessing opposing forces. So like the masculine and feminine energy, right? Yes. All right. So the list is tomorrow. The list is tomorrow. I am on my way to the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. If you want to continue the conversation or hang out with me more or whatever, join us there in the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective, where I'm going right now. Otherwise, I'll see you back here about 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Wednesday. And we'll do more chatting and clarity and awakening and spirituality and healing and transformation, all the things that are fun, But I love you. If you didn't get your card read, I'm sorry. You'll have to try again tomorrow. I'm just letting my guides tell me where and who I need to. Nice. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful Tuesday. Go out and make it terrific. Mwah. Love you guys. We'll talk with you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. You're so welcome.